Getting a diagnosis can feel like, well, like the end of something, but it's really the start of a whole new journey. So today, we're going to lay out a clear path forward, drawing on expert advice to figure out those crucial next steps after an autism diagnosis. Let's walk this path together.
And this is the question on everyone's mind, right? Your child has a diagnosis. Now what? It's a moment just packed with emotion, maybe some fear, a whole lot of uncertainty. What we want to do here is help you take that big, overwhelming, now what? And turn it into a calm, confident, okay, here's what we do next.
Okay, so let's start where most of these journeys begin. Noticing those first signs. That feeling that something's just a little bit different? That's the real starting point, the moment that kicks off this whole process of understanding.
And I really want to hammer this point home. A diagnosis is not the end of the story. Think of it more like the key that unlocks a door. It's the official green light to start getting the right kind of support, to kickstart intervention, and really to help your child reach their absolute fullest potential.
All right, now this next part is super interesting because it's a distinction we often miss. We tend to throw around the words diagnosis and assessment like they're the same thing, but they're not at all. One tells you what you're looking at, but the other gives you the map for the entire journey.
See, a really good assessment goes way, way deeper than just the label of autism. It's this detailed, comprehensive look at the individual child. What are their cognitive skills? How's their language developing? What about social interactions? It's all about getting to know the whole person, not just looking at the condition.
This really breaks it down perfectly. The diagnosis answers the what question. What is it? It's autism. But the assessment, that answers the how and the where do we start. It gives you that personalized, actionable plan that's built around your child's unique strengths and challenges. It's the playbook. And the best part is, we have amazing, reliable tools to build this map. It's not just guesswork. Professionals have things like the Portage for the little ones or the PDCat for older kids and adults. And what's so important is that a lot of this information can come from just talking to you, the caregiver. That means we can get a super clear picture even if a child is nonverbal. And, hey, sometimes this can even be done remotely.
Okay, so we have our map, the assessment. Now let's talk about the journey itself, intervention. And this is so much more than just, managing behaviors. It's about actively, intentionally building bridges to new skills and opening up a world of new possibilities.
And this right here, this is an incredibly powerful idea. Good therapy isn't just about going through the motions. It's about tapping into the brain's amazing ability to change and rewire itself. That's neuroplasticity. We are literally helping to create new connections, new pathways in the brain. How cool is that?
So let's tackle a big myth head-on. You sometimes hear that therapies like ABA are all about making kids robotic. But I love how Dr. Camila Gomes puts it. The goal is the exact opposite. It's all about motivation. That practice, that repetition, it's not to turn a child into a robot. It's to give them the tools they need to jump into life, to be part of the circle at a birthday party, to join in at school, to just participate.
So what's the magic formula? Well, it's actually pretty straightforward. It comes down to 3 key pillars. First, you teach the skill. Then you work to maintain it, so it sticks. But then comes the most important part of all. You help the child generalize it. That means taking it out of the therapy room and using it in the real world, at school, on the playground, at home.
All right, let's get real for a second and talk about something every single parent deals with, those challenging behaviors. This can be one of the toughest, most stressful parts of this whole journey for sure. But the good news is, there are really constructive ways to handle it.
You know the moment I'm talking about, right? The hard no. The absolute refusal to do something differently. That behavioral rigidity. What do? Do you force the issue? Do you back down? It's that super high-stress moment that for a lot of families happens over and over again.
Well, here's the secret. The best strategy has nothing to do with how you react in that moment. It's about a total shift in focus to one single word: prevention. It's all about getting out ahead of the behavior before it even has a chance to start.
So what does that even look like in real life? Well, it means you become a detective. You anticipate the triggers. So if you know a huge change to the schedule is going to cause a meltdown, you introduce that change super gradually in tiny little steps. Instead of fighting about which chair to sit in, maybe you put a cool new toy in the other chair to gently redirect them. See, it's all about being proactive instead of just reacting to fires.
And all of this leads to what might be the most important point of all. Yes, therapists are amazing.
Specialists are your guides, but the number one, most powerful force for change is the family. It's you.
Dr. Gomez just says it so perfectly. When the family really gets involved, the kids don't just make progress, they soar. That's the word she uses, and it's so true. That day-in, day-out involvement is what turns therapy from just another appointment into a real way of life.
Look, at the end of the day, you are the world's leading expert on your child. So get out there and find good, solid information. At home, be on the lookout for little moments to practice those new skills. Trust your instincts. You know what makes your kid tick. Your involvement is the bridge that connects what happens in therapy to the real world.
This whole journey, it's not a giant leap. It's just a series of single steps. You don't need to have everything figured out right now. You just need to figure out the next right step. So I'll leave you with this question. What's one small, totally doable thing you can do today to take that next step forward?